Listen up. You are now listening to News with My Fiancé with DJ Ambush and Morgan Jones.
Shut up.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to do like a dramatic pause, but then, on radio, you can't really do that a lot. It's different like if you're on camera.
Definitely different if you're on camera. Also, if maybe you're telling a story, start
something before you pause it.
You're going to need to.
All right.
Yeah. Something's got to be going in order for you to.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can't just throw pregnant pauses anywhere you want.
I mean, you can. It's just not going to probably sound that great.
Good morning.
Good morning, fiancés.
Thank you for joining our production meeting.
We know they're your fave.
Hey. But we back. It's another Thursday. You're listening to X-Ray FM at 7:33.
Ooh.
3 minutes went quick like that, stealing our time away from us.
It's what happens.
Yeah.
The clock strikes 7:30, and then it's 9:06.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly. Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
So what's going on, y'all? What's happening? How y'all feeling today?
Well, thanks for asking. I woke up this morning with a freaking migraine, and I am just as tired of saying that as you are of hearing it.
Man.
I will probably stop saying it. No, I probably won't. That was a fib. I'll be honest. I probably won't stop complaining about my life on this microphone.
Gets the people going.
I don't know about that. Unsure. Jury's still out on if it gets the people going.
All right.
It does. I mean, people do care about me, and they say, "Sorry, you're going through this."
Yeah, it's a whole community of migrainers out there that when you say it, they're like, you know what? Mine hasn't started yet, but maybe around noon. Either way, they feel seen and heard.
I'm gonna tell you this: I'm tired of it. I don't want us to have to relate on that. I want us all to not have migraines. That's what I want. Neurological events. I want us to all not have to deal with neurological events that then make other parts of your body feel like they're on fire. I'm over it.
Well,
but I'm going to try and just...
You are a trooper. You're in here, in the building, in the booth.
It's a big day, honestly. I've got directly following this. You know how, people, you are one of these people.
Talk about me.
You're not gonna like it.
That was awesome. Yeah, you're not gonna like it.
You're not gonna like it. People do meetings where it's like, I've got a 10, I've got a 10:45, then I have an 11:30, and then I've got.
I don't know anyone.
2 meetings at noon, but I'll get to one at I don't know. Anyway, that's what my day is like today, and I'm not pleased. My first half is completely stacked after this, and it's all the duties of an only child.
Yeah, a caring only child.
With aging parents. It's hard to say only child because Lily is with me in all of this. So she and I will be doing doctor appointments, rounds of doctor's appointments with the elders today. Got a whole nother one coming right up after it.
Right.
So I got to be alert, but it's not really working out yet.
Be alert.
Yeah. I had a little bit of coffee.
I like that mug.
Took some Excedrin.
Your mug of choice.
I am repping the Cornish College of the Arts today.
Right. I know that's right.
Proud parent. Michelle, it's a morning. Thank you. Aspirin, caffeine, and a retreat from reality for all. Well, maybe not all. Girl. It's a morning is literally how I need to just start saying it. I think that's how I'll say it, Michelle. On migraine mornings, I'll just say it's a morning.
It's a morning.
We're here.
Jordan Owens. Good
Jordan
morning.
Owens, good morning.
I'm feeling pretty good. Like a stabbin dude with radditude. I hope you all are feeling good too.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. See, it's what I'm saying. The people, they care.
I'd love it if my energy could get up,
I think it will with the stories you lined up, the show you produced today. There's a lot to flail arms in the sky about.
And here's the thing about that.
Like as we're getting started.
As we get started. Today's a weird week. Today is a weird week. Yeah, that's true.
Today's in a weird week.
This week has been a lot. Lots of emotions. Lots of roller coaster. Maybe not so much roller coaster. Maybe just the feeling of being sick, but you're not, moving too much. It's kind of just sitting there of like.
That's roller coaster. That's the way up. That's on the way up. That's a click, 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 click.
Yeah, but there's
the sick settling in, a little uneasiness. It's ever present and constant the entire time. And then you hit that top and it's boom.
I really wish that this was on video so people could see how excited you were getting as you were explaining that.
Yeah, because I don't do roller coasters.
Yeah, so I'm very confused on why you look so happy.
Well, you reminisce on the times when I used to be a daredevil. A thrill seeker.
Daredevil.
Not that guy anymore. I am not. No. The listeners know I've said it several times. I will not pay. I will not wait in line and pay a price to convince you that you're trying to kill me. To convince me that you're trying to kill me. I'm not doing that. No. Nope. Sorry. Disinterested.
Well, as disinterested as you are on the roller coaster is as disinterested as I am in a Trump presidency.
You don't say.
And weird.
Yeah.
And we are here now. We made it to our destination. And this week has been rough for me. I'm sure it's been rough for y'all. It is. And do tell me, please tell us how. So I basically tuned out for 2 days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I said no thank you to the inauguration things. I did enjoy Melania's hat that serves as protection. A shield. I did enjoy that. But I it was I can't. Just not right now. I will, but in this very moment, I need to be able to breathe.
Yeah.
And then he started doing stuff, and everybody was like, he's doing stuff. And I was like, no, not yet.
Please stop.
Stop.
It's too early.
Stop doing stuff.
Yeah.
So I legit for 2 days was just like, I can't do this. Did anybody take a morning moment? Did you take some time to not pay attention? I want to be able to make the proclamation that we will not spend much time on Trump,
Why are we going to be discussing the MCU? I mean, this is our reality.
No, thank you. I do appreciate that.
It's okay. Oh, good mama face.
It's I don't know. So I don't want to devote to time to him. I want us to be keeping our eye on the actual things. And there's already so many distractions. And with the distractions come all the sneaky things happening right behind it.
The distractions come to mess arounds.
Yeah. Yes. Here come the mess arounds. And not the fun kind.
Not the fun kind.
And I just, I want to be able to say that we're not going to be devoting much time, but I am worried that this one will not allow us to stop talking
this particular term. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, the differences are pretty clear.
Yeah. He's got a playbook this time.
The people that put him there have a very laser focused idea of what should be happening.
Yeah.
And the pre-work, as they call it, of his first term, where he really laid the groundwork.
Laid the tracks.
Laid the tracks down for a bit of a steamroll, if you will.
Ooh. Sheesh. That's the way to put it. Definitely. With your, tapping out earlier this week, I went on our Patreon and actually hit the chat. And I said, hey, y'all, yesterday was heavy. It's a bit heavy. Find yourself some distractions. Like, really just indulge in some of your favorite ways to disconnect. Mm-hmm. I, like you, had to do the exact same thing. It's like, hey, man, this was a lot. I mean, it's already, MLK Day. We made the decision not to have a show, which I think was a great idea.
Same.
We needed a break, man. As much as we enjoy doing it, we still needed a break. It is work.
There's so much to process with just those two things on its own. MLK Day and inauguration of that guy. Yeah.
It's a lot. It was a lot. So I've been encouraging people, hey, please find no guilt in tapping out. This is huge. It's huge. It's game changing. It's life altering. And it's okay that it feels that way.
It's incredibly overwhelming at times. And I know you mean this, but so I'm just going to say it though for folks that may be just tuning in. When he says it's okay to tap out, he means for a moment.
Right.
Recharge your battery, fill your cup, all the things that buttons say now. But like, we can't tap out. We have to be super duper tapped in. We have to be organizing with each other. We have to be looking out for one another.
Yeah, we're in
like the
times.
Solidarity has to get real serious, real quick.
Real solid.
It's got to get real solid. And it has to happen fast because Operation Warp Speed.
Real talk.
Operation Warp Speed is moving.
Yeah.
And on that first day, for so many things to happen, and I understand, even in doing it this way is a distraction.
Yeah.
It's like a flurry of things coming at you. And so how do you even, we're not supposed to be doing this yet.
Yeah. But I mean, we're I feel you.
Whoops.
Well, we'll get into, so Matt.
Good morning, Matt.
I've already seen too many Nazi salutes this week. It has been a rough week already.
Yes.
It's like I was watching a World War II documentary.
Bruh.
P.S. Good morning.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Matt.
So serious. And then just people debating it. Like, we're right. We don't move on. This is okay. I was going to say, I'm not going to be yelling today, but here we go.
Migraine be damned.
Elon did it. Wait, should we say what we're talking about today before we get into Elon doing it?
I think we usually handle this show a little bit differently. We just jump into our top. And then before we go into our first music break, then we get the rest of the show.
Thanks for reminding me of how this works.
Listen, man, you're producers of a great deal of content.
Elon did it.
Yeah, he did.
There is no, do not sit and argue with anybody who says you don't know what was in his heart, or that's from my chest to yours, or I love y'all, whatever it is, thank you, whatever. Don't even engage, because it's not real. And that entire premise
It's not real.
is just, this is all normalizing this behavior.
Yeah. You know, it's a great reminder for me of how these people move is the cowardice on display, even in moments where you're supposedly being bold and making a gesture and making a huge statement, and you do that, and you're like, "I didn't do it." Yeah, nothing's changed. You're still just some feeble-minded incel 12-year-old. Like, I didn't do that. Yeah, sure you did, Elon. Whatever.
I mean,
cool.
Sam did it with his chest. There's
Right.
nothing else to talk
Twice. What's your guy's name that you put me onto on the BBC? White dude talks real calm.
about. No, James O'Brien.
James O'Brien was like, "Fine, you think you think it wasn't that? Do it at your job. Do it at your kid's school."
Right.
If you don't think that's what it was,
Show it to me.
Just do it when you go to pick up the kids from school, when you go to work or your lunch break.
That's how you say hi now.
Yeah.
That's how you say thank you.
Yeah. For my heart to yours.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Yeah, thank your kid's teacher.
Yeah,
that way.
It's no big deal.
It's wild work to even fix your mouth to defend it in a way, or try and say that's not what the thing was.
Right.
We just haven't moved on. There has not been a moment where American society has actually dealt with any of the oppression that it deals every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Domestic or foreign.
So it's this somehow question of, was that really actually the thing I saw? Y'all, too many times the police kill a Black person who is, doesn't even matter, who should not be killed.
Right.
Right? Or someone famous says the N-word or whatever. And there is this, we don't know what's in their hearts. That's not what you can't really say that. Is this racism? I don't see a Klan hood. Like, we have to stop, move forward.
Yeah.
This cannot continue to be the conversation. Yes, it was that. Now what? What happens to Nazis?
Yeah.
What should happen to Nazis?
Right.
Did you see the video of people in Germany, like a man on the street type videos, where they showed him doing that, and they're like, why is he doing? Oh, this is silly. No, you should. I mean, it's illegal there.
Yeah, it's flat out illegal.
I mean, the amount of things that I learned this week that we just didn't make illegal or didn't codify. Mind blowing. Like, it's all so unserious. All of the concessions that get made between these two parties to keep everything going the same way.
Yeah. It's
sorry, I've just got text.
I was gonna say it's hilarious, America, land of the free, home of the brave. How can we be the land of the free and the home of the brave, but whenever there's an instance of oppression and we have supposedly the obligation to handle that in what is the land of the free, home of the brave, quote unquote, legacy of freedom,
bruh,
we just cower. Like,
bruh.
Saying Elon, holding him accountable for throwing up the Nazi salute is no different, and I'm talking about media at this point, it's no different than when Trump was lying and they weren't calling it lies.
Bruh.
You just couldn't use the word lie. He's telling a lie.
And they were like,
miscommunicating.
there may have been some mistruths
every other word.
Was that a
and
goof?
lie. Right.
Did Trump mistakenly say he'll kill us all?
Right.
No,
Like,
he didn't.
We're not really sure what the president's intentions were when he said that. He stated his intentions. He said it. He stated his intentions. So here we are now. You have people on the internet, of course, following suit, throwing up salutes because it's from my heart to yours. And then,
Fun.
people get on the case, people's jobs get contacted, I am happy that we don't have any listeners, any interactive listeners that I need to say that to. Hey, please don't do that. Our interactive listeners, no. This is not a thing that you play with. It isn't. I wish the ADL knew it wasn't something to play with. They out here making space for Elon. Like, the way people are rolling over for this man, like he is going to do something for anyone other than himself, is wild. It's truly just like, I am aghast. What do you think this is going to get you? You saying that Elon did not throw up a Nazi salute. What does that do for you? Person in the comments.
Well, I'll tell you, for one, I want to be able to do the things that I want to do. And if we see this person who is the most, powerful, rich person being called into question for something, what will then I be able to get away with? So, hey, man, we don't know what's in his heart. We just, who are we to know? I'm trying to look up there was an Idaho legislator. I don't know if he's an actual legislator though, but he showed up in blackface with an Aladdin vest and a MAGA hat.
How long ago was this?
Like this week. I'm trying to find it. Just because he was being Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Ooh. That's a good segue. But Lord, okay. So we got some texts. John said, tap out just means put on your oxygen mask before you can help others. Good morning.
Yes,
and that's,
exactly that.
That's, yeah.
Good morning.
That's definitely it. For sure. Bob says, Sam Couple, TV weather person in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, has been, fired for criticizing Must Salute on her social media. Not on the air. It begins.
What? Read it over, Ambush. What?
Oh my goodness. Sam Couple, TV weather person in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, has been fired for criticizing Must Salute on her social media, not on the air. Who is dude? Y'all roll over for anybody.
Well, I mean, he is a billionaire, the richest man in the world.
True.
That isn't rolling over for anybody. It's rolling over for the worst person.
It is rolling over for the worst person. The reason I'm saying it's rolling over for anybody is because whatever you think is going to happen under his reign that will affect your life, it's already scheduled. It's already going to happen. Like, you firing this person or you getting in line right now is not going to save, like, it's not going to change the course of it. Dude, it's his world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this, your late stage allegiance is just, it's not, either he owns your company or doesn't. Anyways, Kenneth said, would not be surprised if MAGA tried to fully normalize it and actually start doing it all over the place. Kenneth, I do believe that is where we're heading.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna rename it, recontextualize it, or attempt to, and we're gonna see it all over the place. And we'll continue to see it. I still can't believe what you're saying about this person showing up in the Aladdin costume.
Oh, okay, I was wrong. It wasn't this week. It was 2 weeks ago.
Well, it still was this year. So I'm like, when is this from?
I don't know what's happening, but the internet's not giving me a go right now.
Okay.
It's spinning, but I'll get back to it. Yeah, I mean, I can watch the video, but I can't.
Right. So and then what happened? Right. And then what was the response? Did they boot him out? Or he just got to sit there and be a spectacle?
I mean, he's in the hallway or whatever. And I don't know what his point was. It's to talk about how the H-1B visas, I guess. Yeah,
so when a situation like that happens, what's supposed to happen is you put a camera on him, but no microphone. And the hosts or anchor, they do the talking. And then that's it. Call security, get him out of the building. What are we doing? This is not, you have not created a moment for you to give us a message while you're dressed up like that. No. You don't get to control this moment. Your fever dream does not get to flourish here. I am just, oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. We got a couple more. Okay. All right. Shelly Shell says the radical idea that everyone should be held responsible for not making Nazi salutes. And this one had the additional purpose of getting everyone distracted by the debate of what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's really where I want to say, let us not get distracted in the did he do that? And call things things. Yes, he did. Does that change your opinion of him? Does it matter to you?
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no reason to have the debate. Don't be a part of it.
Don't be a part of it, guys. Don't even do it.
There is normalizing this behavior, trying to rebrand it, whitewash it, not a thing.
Right. It's not a thing. Do not engage.
As we move forward into this, another, we have not escaped what the 2016 disinformation tricky business. We have not escaped that. We are still living in nothing but people. We do not agree on base facts anymore.
What's a fact?
Which makes it incredibly hard to not just hold a conversation, but to understand even another person's point of view sometimes. But the fact of the matter is, there's going to be in a situation where someone is trying to argue that is not that, or we are unsure, that person either does not know as much as you do about this particular thing, or maybe they don't see much wrong with hitting that salute.
Yeah.
Either way, you're either going to try and educate that person or you're going to move forward.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no reason to argue about that being the gesture that it is.
And are you in the position to educate that person? You know what I'm saying? Just because you know it's wrong doesn't necessarily mean you are in the position to actually educate someone on it. There are so many things that once it's happened, I've made a decision on how I'm going to relate to that particular issue. And in the time of making that decision, I was probably very well informed and did my research, and was like, okay, all right. And this is why I cannot deal with this. This is my position on it. And this is me. I don't know if how many other people are like this. Once I've made the decision that this is my position, it's a hard line in the sand. And then you could ask me 2 years later, oh, why do you feel this way about that? And I'd be like, you know what? I can't remember all the details of what happened, but I just remember I don't mess with this person anymore. Yeah, I don't remember the intricacies of it, but it was a very hard line, and it's not for me. So while again, we can know how we feel about a situation, we do need to choose when and how we engage, because even in our attempts to educate someone, if we are not well informed, we can leave that conversation and things go the opposite way, because they had the latest talking points. They had the latest, misinformation, disinformation.
Right.
And, little
and now
tactics.
You're battling things that are not important to even talk about, and are distractions, straw men, and all those things.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden, maybe you don't look as confident.
Yep.
Or knowledgeable.
Yep. And you're now having a conversation B with AI.
Hello. The other reason. P-Town said, fantastic rising fiancés. Hi, P-Town.
The Mick Monster getting to it.
He's getting right to it.
Dude is not Roman. Yeah, all this Roman salute.
Man, listen.
Come on, man.
This is not the first time Elon has done a Nazi salute. This is not the second. It will not be the last. We need to cut and just take it for what it is.
Right.
He follows Nazi accounts. He boosts far right accounts. He reposts. He agrees with. He shares.
Yeah.
But all of that is the in front. What he is doing is very much the Bannon.
Yeah.
Mans has been traveling the globe, going and talking to all of the far right up and coming leaders, if they're not already in place. And he is so much more dangerous than has ever been given credit for, because he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
This kind of aligning with that and then being on the stage, he has been so normalized in pop culture as like this dorky dude that's somehow relatable, but also, oh my God, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm now getting distracted by all of the distractions of what they call this man, like, and the excuses that they have given him for everything that he has done.
Right.
None of this is new. He's been telling us who he is. There should be no surprise. Anybody who is willing to extract and hoard the wealth of this country and then tell us we're lazy.
Right.
He's pro-apartheid. I mean, there's nothing else to talk about. There's too many things. There's too many things that should have stopped everybody from even paying any sort of respect to that man.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
Ugh.
That's your boy. Shout out to Timberland. That's your boy. Shout out to Swizz Beats. That's your boy.
Anybody who wants to be in the proximity of that because they think they're gonna get it, or like, please, gross. At what point do these rich people who are like went from being poor, then they're rich, but also famous, so that's a different kind of world. You start hanging out with way richer people than you, and somehow you're like, man, I also too must have $1 billion. Like,
because it's just waiting there for you through this relationship. Cool.
I just don't understand. Is that I don't have. I'm trying to find a friend that owns a boat. You know, like I don't have friends with yachts around the world, so I don't know how corrupting being next to a billionaire is. But I understanding how there is no possible way to ethically have that much money. There is no reason, literally no reason, to have that money without you wanting to control and influence and wield power. There's nothing even cool about it. I don't want you to do a seminar on how to become a billionaire. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. I don't want to learn your ways. So let alone waiting my turn to be the billionaire that does what he does. Like,
right.
The bootlicking of a person who cannot tie their shoes.
So gross.
Is absolutely wild to me.
Nikki says, if it looks like a duck,
hello,
quacks like a duck.
It's a fascist.
Right. Or if you're an anti-fascist Italian playwright from the 30s. Is that a rhinoceros?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. John said, shout out Snoop.
Hello. Except to Nelly.
Soulja Boy, Rick Ross.
One Richard Ross.
Richard Ross.
So not surprising. Soulja Boy, not surprising.
So
Nelly, I don't even know what I don't even know what happened there.
Yeah.
And you didn't even get to do the song that everybody knows you for.
What, Flap Your Wings? What's the other one?
Dilemma. With Kelly.
So the reason I said Flap Your Wings is because I was listening to Ask Your Old Head podcast, shout out to Justice. And they were talking about, he was saying that I think this was like early 2000s or mid 2000s. He was driving from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, and as the radio stations were changing, he was like, yeah, it wasn't a lot of black music stations as I'm taking that trip. He said, but it was definitely the one black artist that was prevalent on all of these other stations was definitely Nelly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, you know, And just thinking about the club days, Nelly and Pitbull, there was an exit ramp that they took. And their music just took them over there, and it was just like, oh yeah, Flap Your Wings? Oh yeah. Ridiculous. The requests for it's like, how could you want to hear this again tonight? How could you want to?
Let me tell you how great my brain is. I have no idea. I'm trying to place that song. The name of that song don't even sound familiar. You said Flap Your Wings. I was like, drop down and get your eagle on.
Same song.
Oh.
Same song.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That song is called Flap Your Wings?
It's not. I'm just calling it Flap Your Wings. But it's definitely the same song. Unless he has... How many songs do you think he has?
I've had it. I've had it.
Definitely was.
You really made me sit there thinking that's the name of the song?
I'm apologize. The DJ and me apologize.
Michelle, come get him. Where's Crystal? Crystal? Are you there? Brooke, come get this man. Flap your wings.
You know, come on, it's Nelly. I don't care. But like, they were like, yeah, so, you know, Nelly knows his crowd. This, you know, so big deal. And then he said, what did they say? These are artists that don't make conscious music. Why are we looking for them to make conscious decisions?
Ooh.
And I was like, point. I do see that. So what we're talking about, guys, there was a crypto ball inauguration event.
Yes.
For
our first crypto president.
And the organizers for this event booked a bunch of acts. And among that listing of acts was one Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, and Nelly. And there has been backlash. The majority of the backlash has definitely been for Snoop and Nelly because no one cares about Soulja Boy. Nelly has been engaging in the conversation a lot by going on a tour,
podcast that will have him.
Pretty much. I'm pretty sure we could probably get him. He was on Chris Cuomo. He's on, who else is he on?
Willie D and something else. Who cares?
Van Lathan, all over the place. And then what's really interesting for the Snoop side of this is when Trump won the presidency, when he got elected before, there's videos, it's resurfaced of him clowning anyone that would perform for Trump. Like, you know, which one of y'all gonna start shucking and jiving? Like, you know, he called it what it was. And then here we are, not too long after that. Bam. Tissue.
He also throughout has has gone the route of being like, F that guy, like that's
definitely very vocal.
Making it clear, nah, he's racist, nah, like, so to be, and the thing is that Snoop is a marketing machine, or what would you call it? Like he's endorsements galore, emporium. He's not turning much down. I'm not sure what that's about.
Right.
But like when you have rebranded yourself so much that you have, a long running show with Martha Stewart and have lit the torch for the Olympics, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't the league you need to be in. You don't, there's zero reason that you need to do a show like that.
At all. You said the bag was possibly like 300K.
Here's the thing. I absolutely understand. Take the money. At some point, unless that $200,000 or $300,000 bag goes directly into the hands of organizers, you are not helping.
Yeah. Anyone but yourself.
Yeah, your family. And the thing is that money is fake anyway, right? Money isn't real, and these people are trying to change all of the what?
No, go ahead.
It isn't real, and they're trying to change the way that we use it. So the entire idea of the crypto ball really grinds my gears, as they say. Doing this marketing of the crypto president and all of that, all for the cryptocurrency industry to champion this dude being Trump, thinking that he would come in and help legitimize them.
Right.
Instead, he drops a meme coin, $sign Trump. I think you get memes. They are AI generated. And then Melania drops one. This crazy inflates the things. They now have billions. They're worth billions or whatever. But the coin itself tanks because too many people have it or whatever. Completely makes a bubble, like within this bubble.
Right.
And it just ends up being a cash grab. They get all that money, then the coin is worthless. And
wait a minute. Slow down. Did you just say Trump did something that ended up being a cash grab?
Yikes.
I am so surprised by these actions. I am caught unawares. What's wrong with you people? C says, hello, fam.
Good morning, C.
Says Snoop made hella income last year during the Olympics.
Bruh.
He's looking for his tax break. Yikes.
Well, I do understand the more money you make, the less taxes you pay. So if that's his point, he's doing a great job.
Wow. He said Trump probably promised those washed up rappers some meme coins too.
Yeah, probably did. Probably did.
That has to be part of it, right? For the crypto ball, that everyone in attendance gets so many coins, so many meme coins.
I don't know. He dropped it, and I think that the people in the industry definitely were like, "Oh, this will be." Wait, it's a meme coin. Like, it's not a real. You're not doing real currency. Hey, dude. I mean, he doesn't do anything but shady cash grabs. There is no, I mean, him even talking about like what's happening in the West Bank and Gaza, my man's is just like, it could be beautiful.
When he's like, are y'all, man said, beautiful property out there. Could be.
Jared has told me, it's looking real good. There's some nice waterfront property there.
You know who knows it could be beautiful? The Palestinians
that live there.
Yeah.
They live there, non-occupied.
Guy Pearce.
Then occupied.
Guy
Yeah.
Pearce. I meant to send this to you. I may have sent it to the News of My Fiancé account. Just forgot to repost it. Guy Pearce is on a runway somewhere, and the person interviewing says, "You notice you've been wearing, this Free Palestine pin your entire press tour. Just announced a ceasefire." And he was like, "Oh, ceasefire! This is so great." So now that all the fighting is done, Palestinians can go back to their neighborhoods and just move back into their homes. I was like, oh, yikes! Like if you did, whew.
Yeah.
I was like, I felt that one, sir. Thank you.
It gets real. We just need more of that.
Yeah.
More of people being able to have the words in the moment with a microphone in their face.
That's it. That's it.
I do just want to say that in true dump truck fashion,
Mm-hmm.
with the coin, like the coins are totally worthless, and it made, crypto look like a circus and whatnot. He was asked about the coin, and he said, "I don't know much about it other than I launched it." And I think that is the truest thing we have ever heard from this man. I think that's true of everything he does every day.
Yep.
I don't know much about it other than my name is on it.
That's it.
Or I like it.
Yeah.
I launched it. I did the thing.
I signed for it. Yeah. MJ.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today with what's left of the show?
Well, this has not gone the way planned, but here we are. We're going to get into a couple of the things that the executive orders that have been signed. And in our local news, we will be talking about one Mayor Wilson unveiling his plan to not solve our homelessness crisis.
Oh.
Yay, plans.
Plans on plans.
I don't know if y'all even heard about that. Actually, as you go in, as you go into the music break, I'm going to ask y'all, text in. Have you heard of the plan? Are you a fan of the plan? We'll get into it when we get back.
Hello. We are back. Welcome back to News of My Fiancé with Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush. Shoot us a text. Join the conversation. 971-220-5979. Again, it is 971-220-5979. Text from Brooke. We were talking about, we're asking you guys if you had any opinions on Mayor Wilson's plan for solving the homelessness crisis, which was one of the major issues he ran on. So Brooke says Wilson's plan sounds like nothing new. Here's hoping for true collaboration on the city council to do something different and better. I did see someone from city council, was it Loretta? I think it was Loretta Smith, saying, kind of pushing back, saying, where do you think this money's coming from? And she's like, this is what we're dealing with this year. How do you see, where do you see these funds coming from? And his response was that he had money earmarked. There's money that's earmarked and promised to them at the federal level. And he's just saying, this is how I want to allocate it once it gets here. So there's dialogue is happening. There isn't anyone just rolling over.
Oh, there are some people on the city council that think it's a bold plan. So
bold plan.
Use the words.
All right.
So get into the story.
I will. So let's talk about Portland's brand new mayor, Keith Wilson, and his $28 million plan to tackle one of the city's biggest challenges, unsheltered homelessness. You know what's wild, MJ? There was a time when $28 million sounded like a lot of money to me. Especially,
and now it's groceries.
Yeah. Especially when we're talking about tackling something like homelessness. This is a huge issue.
Yeah.
28 million sounds like a small ticket price. And then again, after watching this, the money that was spent, by these billionaires and the money that's earned by these mega corporations, it's like, wow, 28 million could solve homelessness in Portland?
Well, no, it couldn't.
Oh, okay. Now Wilson campaigned hard.
He's not saying he'll solve it.
Okay.
It's not gonna solve it.
As I stated before, Wilson campaigned hard on a promise to clear homeless camps off Portland streets within a year. His big, bold idea: create 3,000 new nighttime-only shelter beds, to accommodate the 5,400 unsheltered folks across Multnomah County. Wilson has long argued that nighttime shelters are the missing key to our homeless shelter work, calling 24/7 shelters wasteful. His reasoning? Quote, in a fully functioning society, you just need something for somebody at night because they're working the next day or they're down on their luck, Wilson said. You don't need as many day centers as you do need the beds at night. But here's the math, guys. Half of those beds are funded, but the other half, that's where it gets murky. Wilson is pitching a you, me, us approach, asking the state and federal government to chip in since both the city and county are facing major budget gaps. Wilson says the plan will cost $28 million this year and $24 million next year, but here's where eyebrows start raising. Homelessness experts and county officials say his numbers don't add up. His estimate of $35 per night per bed is way off, with current shelters costing closer to $55 per night. Councilor Loretta Smith pointed out that Portland is already spending $75 million on homelessness this fiscal year, while working to cut $100 million from the budget. She asked Wilson, how will the city afford this plan? And it doesn't stop there. Wilson's plan also proposes separate daytime and nighttime shelters, but critics like Multnomah County Jillian Schoen say that's inefficient. They argue that 24/7 shelters would be more cost-effective and less disruptive for unhoused folks, which I'm sure everyone can understand. Then there's the enforcement piece. Wilson promises to enforce Portland's camping ban by December if the shelter capacity is met. But here's the kicker. There's no budget for ramping up police enforcement, increased jail costs, or even legal challenges to the city's existing encampment removal policies. Wilson says his plan could save money by cutting costs associated with campsite sweeps and cleanups. But fiancés, we gotta ask, how does this address, let alone end homelessness?
Does it happen?
Does it? Experts like Marissa Zapata from Portland State University are saying, hold up, this isn't a plan to end homelessness. It's a plan to move people indoors temporarily. Without affordable housing, this could just be a never-ending cycle of costs. Wilson isn't just talking policy. He's making it personal. During his pitch, he shared a story about Jess, a man struggling with mental illness, who's a familiar face near City Hall. Wilson says leaders need to act with compassion and stop accepting the status quo. So, where does this leave us? Is this plan the game changer Portland needs, or are we just throwing cash at a crisis without solving the root causes? Clock is ticking. Wilson says we can't afford to not do this. I agree. We can't afford to not do something. I don't know if this is it.
We have a text from Michelle that says, has the man never heard of a night shift? Also, a fully functioning society in this economy?
In this economy? Michelle, that's my response to everything.
And it's economy? Appropriate. It's an interesting thought to me that
which part?
That in a fully functioning society, there are still homeless working people. That's fully functioning. You're working. You have work the next day, but you don't have a place to live.
You're sleeping in your car.
So you sleep in the shelter. That's fully functioning. That seems like that's okay. This is that. I mean, sit right there, Keith. Tell me more.
Clue me in, Keith.
Clue me in on how people having jobs and not enough money to live is fully functioning. Why is society functioning this way?
I wish I heard more in anyone's plan. In any city in America, any town, let's say. I wish I had heard more about how we're addressing unaffordable housing in this conversation around houselessness. Because it's not like there isn't enough land, property, roofs, and rooms with doors on them. There is enough actual housing. What are we doing? Where's the aggressive conversations, legislation, policy? Where is the 75 million that we're using to respond to what developers are doing? Like houselessness, people being on the streets, people being unsheltered. This is the result. And we're constantly shifting and trying to find ways to deal with the result of someone else's actions and decisions making. And I'm not talking about the community that is unsheltered. I'm talking about the people that are making housing unaffordable. Like it's we're constantly talking around and not going directly at the issue here.
And that's how we can continue to have the power with the wrong people.
Right.
Because we're arguing if people should be on the street, like
right.
if the city should sweep their things, if like just even in that phrase, like we are just looking at people as individual failures in order to make ourselves feel better. That's part of it. Another part is not understanding that commodifying everything that we actually need to live, human needs, human rights, the commodifying those things is only detrimental.
Right.
And it's detrimental to the many and, beneficial to the few.
Right.
And we on this show have explained many times they will spend more money to tell you that they don't have money to house you than they will to house you, right? You have to understand somebody's level of seriousness by how they respond to things like this, right? Mm-hmm. Talking about nighttime shelters and the wastefulness of a 24-hour shelter or a daytime shelter is just more displacement, more instability for people. So we don't even give them the opportunity. Say you are a working person and you are living in a shelter because you cannot afford to pay for rent and utilities and all the things. You have no piece of stability in your life. How are you supposed to save the money to get the place,
right,
to do the things? You are constantly moving your stuff. You are constantly hoping you have a place to sleep, not knowing you have a place to sleep.
Right.
And then in that place is not private. That place is not restful. That place is not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, not get any peace of mind.
And to Michelle's point of a night shift. So I work during the night, but I have nowhere to be during the day because you have no problem with people actually being outside. There's a pretend compassion that we can't do it overnight. You can't be out there overnight. I mean,
Right.
it might just be too cold for you. But no, you can't be in here during the day either. And no, you can't use the bathroom here. And no, there is no place for you to take a shower. And no, there is, I mean, like, you are consistently hit every day with how worthless you are to this society.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to just keep going?
If you are in a position like that where you're working the night shift and maybe you got 2-3 jobs, and the idea is, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to save this money up. I'm going to get an apartment. My thing is, how?
Bootstraps.
If the cost of living is going up,
Wages are not.
right? Wages are not. These rental prices, like, who can buy a home? I don't even want to talk about that. These rental prices are increasing. I mean, a storage unit.
Okay. The correlation between all the pop-up new storages and financial and housing crises is not lost on us.
Right.
Like,
right. So how, like, it just seems like a very unserious conversation.
It is unserious. It is only going to serve capitalists and that agenda. It will, you cannot capitalism your way out of capitalism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a detrimental economic system. It's dangerous and detrimental. And it has to have these elements in order for it to work.
Yeah.
There is no compassionate capitalism or conscious capitalism. There is no but we can do it in the nice way. It just isn't real. And there's absolutely no excuse to have this much money and have this many poor people. Yeah. And poor, to me, that bucket, wider and wider, deeper and deeper. There is far less, which I'm not looking for there to be a hierarchy.
Right.
But there's far less of a, stair step there.
Yeah.
It's just the inequality is off the charts. And we, in this time, have people in power who benefit from that. They do not want that to see that change. They do not want that to become, oh, well, all of a sudden, I got mine. I got enough. I got all I need. Let's make sure that the rest of you are taken care of. There is no trickle down. It's just a trick.
Oh, I like that.
It's just a trick.
Trickle down is just a trick.
Like, it is unserious if your plan to address homelessness does not address homelessness. Like, we don't just not have money to throw around. We don't have time to play in people's faces and with their lives.
Right.
We cannot just continue to do that. And Keith Wilson is giving us a plan that is just more of the same. Ted 3.0, because Ted was someone else 0.0.
Yeah. John said, ding, 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 air horn. Talk to him. Just got a text. The obvious issue is an unregulated housing market in late-stage capitalism, but somehow that never enters the conversation.
Hello.
Thank you, Texter, for succinctly putting that together.
Pretty much everything I just said in one sentence.
What I was trying to, where I was going. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
What we're doing is continuing to participate in this system. And at some point, we have to start rebelling.
Yeah. Do we like the system? No.
The system
Let's stop participating.
Does not work for us. And the us is a very large amount of people.
Yeah. Vast majority.
To a handful of people that, again, will do absolutely any and everything to make sure you don't get that dollar. This isn't the point of this story, but I am in my actual personal life. As I have explained, I have a lot of aging folks, and seeing the way that not just the healthcare system and the insurance industry are so predatory, and detrimental to your your health and well-being. Quality of life doesn't matter to a system of oppression. So I keep going, yikes, you want to put people in one of the most vulnerable parts of their lives. So if you have dementia, and specifically my aunt, who has now vascular dementia from having a stroke, who feels terrified every day because she doesn't know who the people are that are supposedly helping her, and she is unsure that they are actually helping because she's like, they don't know me and I don't know them, and why would they care about me?
Right.
The way that the system is ready to just literally throw her anywhere when she has worked her entire life.
Right.
She was a teacher. She was a business owner.
One of the hardest working business owners I've ever met.
Man.
A machine.
And in her retirement, this happens.
Right. And I'm sure many of you can relate, right?
Before she could even understand what retirement meant. She was still like, I don't know, I'm supposed to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know? I'm supposed to be productive. I'm supposed to be doing something. I feel like I'm not
contributing.
What do I get out of bed for if I'm not,
Capitalism in your bones, man.
In your bones.
Yeah.
And it's devastating. It's devastating to see you do all of that and you don't even get to enjoy any piece of it. And now, quality of life for who? For what? Why? Commodifying the things that we need only puts us in a position of being harmed.
Yeah, to be exploited. We become the products.
And it's at every stage of our lives. And something, somewhere, has to radicalize you. And understand that these are not systems that can be reformed. These are not things that just need a tweak. Oh, we just need nighttime shelter beds. Think it through. Does that get you off your feet or on your feet? Does that make you make more money?
Right. Does that lower the cost?
You want to spend money on shelter beds, but will not do anything to make any corporation spend more money on taking care of the people that produce their wealth. We pay for it. It's all subsidized, right? Talk to Walmart about not paying people enough so that everybody that works there doesn't have to be on SNAP. Or expand SNAP.
Someone just said exactly. Dying in America is in itself a profit system of terrible care.
Bruh! Like, I don't know how long this model lasts,
It's crumbling for sure.
I don't know how, but there has to be some more, imagination. Like, we all need to understand that the things that are the problem are commodifying our needs. Yeah. Artificially inflating prices for things. We have to actually live the people over profits. We cannot. There's no way to not be a part of this society yet, but what I mean is being informed about the way that we make these moves. Mm-hmm. Or to be informed about why we need to make these moves. Mm-hmm. And how. We are subsidizing the lives, and poorly, by the way, and by that I mean just it's not enough. Working people because corporations get more profit. And then we call those working people low-skilled workers and act like they aren't generating billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah.
The low skill is being the exploiter. Because the system's already built. You ain't even come up with a new and innovative way to exploit.
You just said we're subsidizing. We're subsidizing workers. I remember hearing about Walmart employees being on federal assistance because they weren't getting paid enough. They weren't getting paid enough from Walmart, and they didn't have proper benefits and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. And again, the more we hear about these type of situations, the more it just normalizes the actual circumstance. But I remember in my younger days, what we were taught was, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and then that's your buy-in to capitalism. That's your responsibility. You work, and we're rewarded for that work. Mm-hmm. But if you're working all these hours, and the money that's being paid to you isn't enough for you to live, then something's broken in the contract here. And it's really, really clear. If what you're paying me does not allow me to put gas in the tank and food on my table and have a place to live so I can come back to work for you, then this isn't a job. This is slave labor. That's it. Mm-hmm. It's. I don't love that phrase. But yeah, I feel you. Point. But it's like, this isn't an actual job. This isn't an actual contract for work that we have here. Yeah. You have decided you will underpay me while expecting a certain level of labor from me. Yeah, well, maybe you decided to get underpaid. The decision was mine all along. Yeah. On the inside of your bootstraps, there's instructions on how to negotiate for better pay. Has it rubbed off? This is like a M. Night Shyamalan twist. Did not see that coming. Let me check these bootstraps. And there it is. Look at that. See? The whole time. Written in permanent ink. No, I think that I like the way that you're putting that. There's a flaw in the contract, but I would say that we are agreeing to two different things and we don't know it, it's very much Kendrick is talking about one thing and Drake is responding to another. And so you look silly because you don't even know what you're responding to. Right. It's that. It's like we are still somehow under the belief that I do this job for you. You pay me this money, blah, right? Yeah. That they're not going to find other ways to take it. Right. That they're, right. I mean, wage theft is the biggest form of theft. Yeah. They are going to find a way to take it. They are going to find. So we're agreeing to different things. Right. And we can no longer do that. Like, we as the people need a union yes. to collectively bargain, right?
And that's what our government officials are supposed to do, but they don't. And in this, to wrap the Keith Wilson story, let's get for real. Be for real about this thing. We do not have time. We do not have the resources to continue to allow people to die for being poor. And the reason they're poor. Those are the reasons they are poor. The reasons we are poor can be absolutely regulated, tackled, handled, moved forward on. And instead, capitalism cannot have that. So we are not going to be able to do those things.
Capitalism's like, not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
Not in my backyard.
Certainly not in my backyard.
Brooke said, universal basic living. Everyone is worthy of shelter/housing.
Hello.
Food and healthcare.
Hello.
That would equal a massive shift in our culture, as othering poor folks is a favorite American pastime.
Yes. Everything she said. It's not just a favorite American pastime. It is embedded in us to make it's a part of our self-esteem. I just bit my lip. Self-esteem. Did I say it right?
You did. I didn't know you bit your lip. It's all right. You said it.
Like, people's entire personalities can be based on the amount of money they make and the things that they buy. And looking down on the people that don't have the ability to do those things. Their entire personalities, their worldview. Their worldview is based in capitalism. So we expecting that to us to be able to say a couple of things and their whole thing crumble and they're okay with it. Not going to happen.
Never going to happen that way. Sorry.
Not going to happen. But universal basic living, universal basic income, this changes, to say exactly, a massive shift in the culture.
Yeah.
A massive shift in livability and quality of life. The amount, I mean, we already know the data is clear in every way. We are physically harmed by the amount of stress it takes to exist within capitalism. When I was doing Work Wives with
Afro.
Yeah. Big buzzword at the moment was imposter syndrome. And I was like, I don't know what this is. And so I looked into it and I was like, sounds like capitalism. This sounds like capitalism and patriarchy.
All rolled into one.
It's the symptoms of.
Yeah.
I'm never good enough.
Yeah.
They're not going to allow you to feel good about yourself and the things you do when they need to keep you down.
Especially when you don't have the things by which that greatness is measured, right?
Right.
What are your material assets looking like?
Hello.
Yeah. P-Town said, we must divest from them and come on back to a community. Come on back to a community. We could do it together.
Yeah.
Hashtag community cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last text of the day is also P-Town. And the part of we have all the things in place and no one can use it. It's that.
Right. Right.
To your point, Ambush. We got all these empty buildings. We got all nothing but housing. Tons of housing. More housing being built right now. Housing that no one can afford to live in right now.
Right.
No place for people to go. No place for people to actually start to rebuild. And it's the temporary get you out of my face. That is capitalism. You cannot fix any of the symptoms of capitalism with it. You just can't. And the idea that Keith is going to get more developers, more money, and houseless folks still don't have stability, don't have any sort of sense of security, that would be a job well done, is disgusting. So that's what me and my migraine have to say about it.
Ugrain Me grain. We all grain. Hey guys, that was another News of My Fiancé. Brought to you by Morgan Jones, DJ Ambush, our illustrious podcast editor, Kyle James, Visual Audio. Thank you to everyone that joined the conversation this morning. Text will be in the caption for the episode, per usual. The playlist is updated, so all the songs played through the show will also be in the notes. Thank you, MJ, for documenting as I was, getting my jams on.
I was trying to be helpful.
You was being helpful. Wasn't no trying. And y'all know what it is, man. Don't let the individuals distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits, power to the people. None of us are free until we're all free. And hey, it's okay to disconnect. It's all right. It's okay to tap out. Take a break.
And then connect back in.
Thanks so much for listening.
Bye.